What is up, awesome peeps? Brent McCluskey here with Electrified Reviews, and today we are reviewing the Eunorau G20 Cargo electric bike. This thing is the perfect two-person passenger commuter if you want to carry a friend with you, if you have a couple of kids, you want to put car seats on the back, if you're an Uber driver or whatever, like an Uber Eats, you want to throw a bunch of food on the back, store stuff, whatever. This bike can pretty much do it all when it comes to carrying cargo, because that's what it is. Excited to dive into the specs on this bike right here, but first, let's roll the B-roll. All right, awesome peeps. Again, this is the Eunorau G20 Cargo electric bike. It's like a family style, two-person passenger, carry people, carry your luggage, your gear, whatever. I mean, this thing is meant to just carry stuff. It's a cargo bike. And you can see right away, it does come stock with this rear kind of cargo section. It's got those sweet little foot pegs. You can actually put a passenger or even two on the back of this thing. And yeah, you're good to go. You can ride along with it. It also does come with an optional front basket that attaches to the actual frame right here instead of the stem or the forks. So it's gonna be nice and well balanced. I personally think it looks cooler without the front basket, but if you do need the extra functionality, it does come with the front basket. The boss is already there. You can just throw those on there. This bike right here, the G20, starts for $1999 USD, $1,999 USD. Now, what's cool is this company does have a 2-year warranty on this bike and a 14-day money-back guarantee. So for some reason, you do get this and you're just like, this isn't the right color for me, not the right fit, whatever. You can return it, or if something breaks, you can have them swap apart and they'll fix it up for you. So that's very nice to be able to have a 2-year warranty, comprehensive on everything. Right now, there is only one color option for the G20, and that's gonna be this green, but it's a pretty nice green. It's kind of like a pearly green, like got flakes of metal in there. It's very reflective, like almost like fishing tackle, fishing bait is what it looks like. Really, really sweet color. I kind of dig that. But this is the only color they have right now. They might have more colors in stock later. This is the mid-drive version. They also do have a hub drive version. I think on that one they have different color options as well, so I don't know, just something to think about. But let's dive into the specs here on the Eunorau G20 Cargo bike. Starting at the motor, this has a mid-drive motor. It's a DAPU mid-drive motor, 500 watts of nominal power, 750 watts of peak power. And what's great about this mid-drive motor is, well, first of all, it allows this thing to go up to 20 miles per hour for top speed. You can hit that top speed with the throttle here, boom, right on the right-hand side of the handlebars, or you can do that using the pedal assist, and it is a torque sensor, which is great because honestly, torque sensor just makes the ride feel so much better. With torque sensors, however much torque you place on the cranks is how much power you get out of the motor. So if you just need a little bit of power and you're putting a little bit of pressure on the cranks, it's gonna give you like, I don't know, 100 watts. If you're really hammering on the pedals, then it gives you full power. Also with a torque sensor, there's no latency from the time that you start and stop pedaling to the time that the actual motor activates and deactivates, which is just fantastic. I really like that. But one of the greatest advantages of a mid-drive motor, there's a lot of advantages. First of all, they typically cost more money, so you don't always see them on bikes at this price point, but when you do, it's always nice. And with a mid-drive, you're able to leverage the gearing of the bike against the motor to basically give the motor a whole set of gears to run through, just like you do. Just like how you can switch gears on this bike, it's switching gears for the motor as well. Just like when you have a car, right? It's like one engine on the car, right? You put it in first gear and it's really torquey in first gear, but you can't go very fast. And once you're on the highway, you put it in the fifth gear, sixth gear, whatever, and then you can go faster and you have lower torque. Same concept with this. When you're starting out, if you need a lot of torque going up a hill, put it in first gear, and it doesn't just lower the gearing for you, it lowers the gearing for the motor. It's a huge advantage and something that really ties this bike together for me. Something you really want to have on a cargo bike, because you're gonna be carrying an extra person or two. You're gonna be carrying your Uber Eats, your deliveries, you're gonna be carrying, I don't know, man, like whatever, all your books for college, whatever you wanna load up on this thing, you're gonna be adding a lot more weight. And when you're climbing hills, you're gonna really appreciate the mid-drive motor here. For the battery, also with mid-drives, you'll notice it's right there in the center of the bike, nice and low, very good center of gravity, helps for stability compared to a hub motor, which is gonna be in the back or the front, and it just kind of makes the bike a little bit off balance. Now, the battery here, Samsung cells, first of all, which is beautiful, 48 volt system, 11.6 amp hour battery for a max estimated range of about 30 miles or so for this. Now remember, max estimated range, it's really just that, it's the max max estimated range. So you could get possibly even a little bit more mileage out of this if you're gonna be in a low pedal assist setting, if you're going on flat ground, if you're going slow, if you don't have a headwind. But if you crank, you know, if you're hitting the throttle a lot, if you're in the high pedal assist mode, you're going to get less miles out of this battery. Again, just like a car, like an EPA for miles per gallon for like a highway, right? Versus city, it's different depending on how you use it. What's cool about this is they do offer a 14.6 upgradable battery of 14.6 amp hour, so you can extend the range on this if you want to. They also offer like a deal where you can get, I think, like an extra battery, and I think the price is like $25.99. It comes with an extra battery, maybe the front basket, and I think some other accessories and stuff. I don't know if you can put the extra battery, if there's a way to attach it here and loop it into the system with these bosses here in the top tube. I don't know if you can do that or not, but it would be cool if you can. If not, those bosses can be used as bottle cage bosses. You can throw a water bottle on there, another accessory, whatever you want. Also, the battery is locking and removable, so you can unlock it, you can charge it separately from the bike, you can store it separately from the bike, and it just gives you some flexibility, which is kind of nice. Now you'll notice this is a step-through frame here, and what's great about step-through frames is they're very approachable. They're very easy to get on and off of. They're very easy to ride. And honestly, the biggest thing about having a step through is really just to be able to do this. So traditional bikes, you gotta swing your whole leg over like that to get on. And if you have back problems or if you just don't want to do that, that's kind of just what you have to do with a traditional kind of half diamond frame, right? Now with a step through, to get on, all you have to do is just kind of step through. I mean, that's why it's called a step through. Just a little bit of a step right there. And what's also great about the frames like this is it allows you to keep your feet flat on the ground when you're at a stop. So that kind of gives you some more, I don't know, just like a feeling of safety, kind of a feeling of comfort with the bike. It just gives you a lot of stability. So you can be at a stop, you can put your feet flat on the ground, and yeah, you can do it like that. All right, moving on here to the derailleur in the back. We've got a Shimano Altus derailleur, a little bit of an upgraded component. One step up from the Shimano Tourney. It's gonna be a 7-speed here. You'll notice it does have a little metal cage that's covering the derailleur. That's great. Helps protect it in case you tip the bike over or something, just helps it from getting damaged. On the top, on the handlebars here, we got a Shimano SIS Index thumb shifter. This is not my favorite shifter here. This is probably gonna be like my only real gripe with this bike. I wish they could just spend a little bit more money, maybe charge just like an extra 50 bucks or something, swap this out for an actual trigger shifter. They're just a lot easier to use compared to these SIS Index thumb shifters, because look, with the thumb shifter, you gotta like really like take your hand all the way off like the grip, you know what I'm saying? With trigger shifters, you go like this. So I like trigger shifters better, but all in all, not a huge deal. Not a huge thing to gripe about, but this is a review. I gotta be kind of picky, right? You'll notice here on the front chainring, it does have a aluminum bash guard, which is nice. It's not necessary, but it is nice to help protect the front chainring if you do get a strike, if you're going off a curb or something. Instead of hitting the actual teeth, it'll hit the bash guard to help protect that. The biggest thing this is gonna do right here is gonna help prevent derailments on the outside. It's just gonna keep the chain locked into place. Now, speaking of derailments, the chain, this kind of stuff, I don't believe that this bike has shift detection on it. What shift detection is, and it's especially important for mid-drive, is it cuts power really briefly to the motor whenever you switch gears. So you switch gear, it cuts power, and it basically relieves the tension, the pressure on the components. So if it does have a shift detection, it's not super effective. So I would definitely caution that when you're switching gears of this, just let off the gas for a second, switch gears, and then hit the gas again. Because remember, with the mid-drive, you're leveraging the gearing against the motor, so there can be a lot of tension, a lot of torque placed on the components. And if you're just hammering through the gears without a good shift detection, and you're not easing up off the gas, you can damage the components on a mid-drive. So just be wary of that. On the other side here, let's see if we can even shoot it here with this massive sun. Man, it's bright and hot out today. But okay, on this side we got Tektro mechanical disc brakes, 180 millimeter rotor in the front, and in the back here we've got a smaller 160 millimeter rotor. Ample stopping power on this. It's plenty of stopping power for this bike. There's also brake inhibitors built in, or motor inhibitors built into the brake levers. So whenever you depress the brake levers on this, it automatically cuts power to the motor to ensure you have the shortest possible stopping distance. Excellent in case you have an emergency braking situation. You'll notice here in the front of the bike, the wire management is not bad. I'd say it's, I don't know, it's somewhere in the middle. It's not bad, but it could be maybe just a little bit better, but they did a pretty good job of trying to keep everything wrapped up pretty nice and tightly, so I do appreciate that. It does have a front headlight here, a little blaze light. Not super bright. It's basically just to increase visibility. If you want to actually illuminate your path at night, you're going to want to get a aftermarket headlight. And then this one right here is going to be I think a blaze light in the back as well. Just basically the same thing, increased visibility. It's not really going to, I mean, it's not super bright, you know. Increase the, there we go. Okay. What else can we cover on this bike? Assembly for this is not too bad. It does take a little bit of time. Basically all you have to do is you have to install the handlebar here. You got to install the front tire, and you have to put on those little foot pegs, which does take a few minutes to assemble those. But all in all, it's not super difficult. It just takes a little bit of time. All the pieces fit really well, and that's one of the key factors, you know, is does stuff fit well? Is it easy to assemble? And the answer for this one is yes. For the saddle here, it is a quick release for the seat post, so you can adjust this on the fly. That's nice. Handlebars, they do fold down if you want to save a little bit of room here. Remember, this is kind of like an in-between. It's not a full-size, huge cargo. It's kind of somewhere in the middle. It's not compact, it's not full-size. So it's nice that it has this little piece right here. You can kind of fold it down. See if you can do it one-handed. Boom. And that's what that looks like right there. So if you are trying to stow this thing, maybe throw it in like your truck, whatever, just being able to throw those handlebars down, it gives it just a little bit, makes it a little bit of a smaller profile. To put them back up, same thing, just in reverse. Go over here. We're just gonna put those up. Boom, you can even do it one-handed, see? And then that's it. That's how you get it back. Okay, heading over here to the display. I'm really hoping we can see this here, and there's a really bright light. It's a really bright sunlight. I turn it on. It's gonna be a long press of the power button right here, or right, do that, boom. You'll see the display comes to life. Man, I really hope you can see this. I can't see it on the screen. We'll see when we get back to editing. Top right here, we have the battery level, about a 5-bar battery indicator. Assist level, current speed right here. Distance traveled, and max speed. I think if you tap the M button, yeah, it'll switch to tripometer, average speed, tap it again. It's gonna go back to max speed and the odometer. So not a whole lot here, but on the screen, I'm not sure how this is showing up, but in real life, it is very easy to see this display in direct sunlight. Something I really appreciate. There's really no glare on this thing. It's a really high quality display, so good stuff. Awesome peeps, I think that is it for the review of the Eunorau G20 Cargo bike, this family style 2-person passenger bike. Super cool. I think now it's time to take this bad boy out for a ride. So here we go. All right, awesome peeps, that is pretty much it for the review of the Eunorau G20 Cargo bike right here. In summary, this thing starts for $1,999, $1,999 USD. It does come with that 2-year comprehensive warranty, 14-day money-back guarantee. It's a pretty good value buy at this price point for what you get on this bike. First and foremost, being able to see a mid-drive motor like we talked about on a bike at this price point is just fantastic, and really that just completes this whole philosophy of use for this bike. Because look, this is a cargo bike. This thing is designed and built to stow stuff, to carry stuff. And if you're gonna be carrying an extra person, if you're gonna be carrying a bunch of cargo, you're gonna be adding a lot of weight to this bike. And like we talked about, having that mid-drive motor just allows you to have that mechanical advantage of the gearing, so you can climb hills better, so you can tow that weight better, and it's not gonna feel like it's so heavy compared to a hub motor, right? We've also got the Shimano Altus derailleur, which is a nice little upgrade. You got the upgradable battery. Remember, it comes with 11.6 amp hour standard. You can upgrade to the 14.6, which is nice. And yeah, overall, it's just a really sweet ride. It's you know, it's pretty compact. It's not as large as some of the other cargo bikes. That's kind of a nice plus. I think this is going to really excel for people who want to, like we talked about, carry that extra cargo, that extra person, but don't want a huge, really long wheelbase for their cargo bike. It's not a compact frame, but it's kind of somewhere in between. It's not a full-size, huge cargo bike. It's not a very small one. So it's, I don't know, Papa Bear, Mama Bear, Baby Bear type of thing, or the oatmeal, whatever that story is. This one's the one that's right in between, and honestly, I think it's just about perfect. So, awesome peeps, that is it for the review of the Eunorau G20 Cargo bike right here. I hope you dug this review. I hope you're having a fantastic day. If you did like this review, please go ahead and leave a like, sub, comment, do all that fun stuff. We love talking to you guys in the comment sections. And yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.